This link. I should probably check what this sounds like. You guys are going to help me sound check, so I should probably check what this sounds like. You guys are going to help me sound check, so I should probably check what this sounds like. Okay, so now, okay, you said it sounds clean. And my bass is fine as well? Let's go. Okay, I have one more step because I want to be able to play music as well. So I'm going to, let's see, I had like a request for this video, like some spots. What does it sound like? If I play that like that, is it too loud and can you still hear me talking? Oh, my mic is a little low. Okay, I can bring that up. How about now? Is it better? Okay, that's really good. Yay. Okay, guys, we are live. So we already got some questions. I'll give some more time. I'll probably just shed to something. But we still have a little bit more time because I want to give people a chance to join in. I also made it public as well. So in case people who aren't from the group, since I like never live stream, so other people can join in and see the stuff that happens here regularly. I am looking for, I was trying to like do the whole like shebang where I would be able to like do things like screen share and stuff like that. But the thing is that I would be forced to use my webcam and it's not as like high quality as my phone. So I was like, let me just do a standard live stream. It doesn't have to be too fancy because I feel like it's so cool for me to be watching a video on my computer and you guys can see the same thing. So, but I was like, yeah, for time's sake, let me just play it simple and I can always make it fancier later. All right. Let me see what I can find to play over. I might have some leftover things in Moises. Oh, that was crazy. Hey, what's going on? Leanne Phillips. That's loud. Okay, so Prince, since you were the first one in here, I'll definitely do Your Great Name just for you. So that's like a classic. Your Great Name, Todd. Let's try it. I'm going to do the extended version. Let me know if the music needs to be louder or anything.
Feels good in this room. Oh, this great name. Come on. We cannot explain. Everything changes when we proclaim. Oh my, what's his great name? Say it, King James.
Haven't played this in a while.
I hear you tonight. Clap your hands right now. Say we love. Call on his name. Yes, oh God. We cannot explain. Everything changes when we
I know we had a question about arpeggios.
What is the greatest name? Say it,
Ezekiel.
come on, say it, King Jesus, he's in there. Everything changes. Yeah. Oh, I love this part. There is power in the name of Jesus. Power in your name. Yeah, God. There is power in the name of Jesus. So much power in your name. Let me hear you say it now. Stretch out in the room. Come on. Say it loud. Say it. God, God. I feel a shifting when I go. Yes, God. Come on, say it. I'm free. I feel a breaking when I come. Oh my God. Are you ready? Say it when I call your name.
Oh, they don't go to the part yet.
When I call your name. Said I feel my healing when I come. Said I feel what's stronger when said I'm healed when I'm healed when. I said I'm healed when I'm healed when. I said I'm healed when I'm healed when. Yeah, I'm healed when.
That's kind of like the arpeggios thing that I was asked about. I'll explain it soon. Hello, Substitutions. Okay. All right. Now we got some nerves out the way, because it does make me nervous to have you guys watching, because it's kind of crazy just doing stuff on the spot, because it's like, man, what if I mess up? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's me playing Your Great Name. I had to do that for Prince one time because he was the first one in here, so that's dope. But I will be taking requests. I'm down to hang out for a little while. But most importantly, like, I kind of want to like answer questions that you guys can deal with. The funniest thing is I get all the comments like a little bit later. But yeah, man. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so this might be not as long as I wanted it to be, because my interface little thingy over here, let me see if I can show it to you guys. It just flashed red because apparently it's not charged, even though I remember charging it, but it's fine. So we'll try to rush through some things as much as we can. So I want to deal with some questions that I got right before I even did the live stream. So let me go to the Telegram chat. I was asked by Richard. He asked, hello, Mr. Walden. Wow. So I noticed your bass lines are very legato and fluid, almost synth-like, rather than the staccato finger funk style you hear from bass players like Joe Dart. Is that something that naturally comes from the gospel style, or is it a personal approach that you developed? I will say the way that I play, I can't like take credit. It is a personal thing that I developed, but right now, if you listen to most bass players, everyone has kind of like, the new generation of bass players kind of like all do it, like more the like top guys. And you realize that it's actually easier to play like this with the whole legato style, because like, what are we playing in B flat? So we're in B flat, right? It's so much easier to, instead of worrying about your right hand having too many moving parts, you can just pluck once when you're doing stuff instead of, and then you don't even sound childish when you're playing, instead of like just separating everything. Instead, you can just do, which once you get used to that, that's what actually gives you that whole, that kind of gospel style approach in a sense. But I always recommend, always try to pluck as little as possible, because whenever you start to bring up the speed on your ideas, you're gonna trip up on something. So I always recommend pluck as little as possible. And even the most important part is usually try to make sure, even when you change directions. So just like how we normally play like a pentatonic, right? Like just because you're changing directions doesn't mean I change the rule. I always try to pluck once per string. I pluck initially just to start, and that's it. So let's check out the other question. This one's a little more complicated, so we might spend some time on this. My question is about arpeggios. How can I incorporate them into my bass lines and licks in a musical way? I hear a lot of bass players using arpeggios beautifully, and I'd love to understand how to practice them properly and apply them when playing. Are there specific exercises or approaches you recommend for making arpeggios sound natural in grooves and fill? So, let me just start with this part. So you make it sound natural by usually taking off the pressure of needing to do something fast. A lot of the things that you heard me do just now in Your Great Name. Oh, hi, Mayo. My wife is here, guys. So now I'm really nervous. Oh my God. But the way that you would, the way that you make things sound natural is always by just not doing it too fast and not worrying about the pressure of like doing things so fast. So when I was playing, all right, let me just show you guys, because that's why I'm actually here, because I can just do this live. So watch this. So I'll go to the vamp part because it repeats a lot. So right. So okay. So now that you guys hear that, it's like, oh, all you have to do is like kind of like just slow things down, and you can always build up the speed later on. You know what I'm saying? Like and by later on, I literally just mean like even within the groove. Like I just start ideas in a slow way, and then I'll speed it up from there. But then what's next is like, so how you guys want to know about arpeggios? First thing we got to just kind of like learn an arpeggio. So we're in B flat, right? The only thing you need to know for right now is just know a major and a minor arpeggio. So once you get used to the shape, then you learn where each one goes. I always use the analogy of the fact that every single, what do you call it? Every single note in the major scale, they have a personality type. Some of them like to be major, some like to be minor. And as once you know what those are, you know that the arpeggio is just your 1, 3, 5, 1, right, for that major. And you can also keep extending it. So for example, let's say we are playing like a major set, because arpeggios are just a way of like spelling out the first, third, the fifth, and whatever other note in like a chord. Like for example, like a major seventh is, right? So that would be that. So once you learn how to do that, the goal is just to be free enough to be able to skip around and do that forward and backwards throughout the scale without having to think about it too much. But you don't need to know the nerdy things. Just know which ones are major, which ones are minor, and then you spell those out. So let me try that with this whole vamp part. I'm going to ignore the changes. I'm going to try to ignore the changes and just mess with the, just try to go arpeggios like throughout the scale. I'll start with the basic ones. Okay, I'll do it the next time. So like just like that. You're just playing the basic arpeggios. So 1, 3, 5, but in relation to the shape. So I'll show you, like those arpeggios would be the 1, 3, 5. But I want you to remember the shape of it only. So because we're going to change where we're putting it, but if you understand how the shape works, you get everything else. So this would be 1, 3, 5 is the major shape, but then if you just move the 3 down a half step, you get 1 flat 3, 5. That's your minor arpeggio. It also spells out just a minor chord, but we're playing all the notes separated. Yeah, so that approach of climbing up the scale, it's just, that's why it's better to think of things in keys and not by the chord, because you have much more possibilities. And then once you understand a concept in one way, you're able to literally do it to every other song. And it just changes based off the environment, but the concept is the same. So the 1 is major, a major shape. And then the 2 is a minor shape. So I'm going to use that shape. It's a little wide, or you can do it like this, whichever one's more comfortable. But I like to do it the wide approach because it's easier for me to see. Whenever I can play something in a bigger way, that keeps my eyes focused on my safe zone, so that way I don't get lost. It's easy. So major. So the 1 is major, 2 is the minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor. We can't get away with our shortcut for the 7 because we have more notes, so the 7 is diminished. Usually when we're playing chords and going over that stuff, we know that we use the same shape as the minor. That's just a minor shape, but it's really diminished. But because we're not playing that many notes for a simple thing like that, but because now we've added a couple, and just like that. And the same way, if I add an extra note with the major 7, I haven't really tried this consciously. So, but also a cool shortcut, if you ever want to know which ones are major and minor, just know one category. So I always remember the major ones. The 1 is always major, 4 is always major, and the 5. So 1, 4, and 5 are always major, and then all the other ones are some funny business. That's how I remember it. So I don't know if that one You get the point. I normally don't play them consecutively that much. I would usually find like a couple notes and then work from there. So let's go back to the song and try to incorporate it. And then you get to that point where you don't even need like the specific, you don't have to like focus on all the ones that are right. You can just focus on one area. Like I was doing the major 7, and then I was also playing the 1 up top, and I was playing that for the shape, the note that comes right before. But the meat of the idea is just 1, 3, 5, 7 in respect to the chord, which this one is I'm on the 4. And I would also do that. So that would kind of be like my approach to arpeggios. I just do that, and now keep in mind, you heard like the ones that I like kind of like messed up on. I usually skip those. I just save my energy for the ones that are easy, because the easier things, the easier the stuff that I'm playing, it's like the less I have to think about. Like I don't have to like impress anybody on the 7 chord that I know is more difficult to play over. Like I can do it, but it's just like on the fly. I'd rather do the simple thing, at least until I build up my confidence, and then I start trying and taking more liberties. So let's keep messing around with some of these arpeggios.
I said, I'm here when I'm here when. I said, I'm here when I'm here when. Yeah,
Minor 6 arp. Oh my gosh, that's so hard. Okay, it gets a little crazy. So let me, I also want to show you guys one thing, only because I am the only person that I've seen who does this. I never get to like talk about this stuff. So there's like a cool thing that I do, but you're going to need some hand strength with your index finger and your pinky to do it. So it's kind of like an arpeggio stuff. So you see, instead of, I'm just doing 1, 3, 5. So this is from the basic one. I use this and I go 1, 3, 5, 1, index, pinky, middle finger, and I just rest it down because it's already right there. Anytime you have something close by and you have an easier way to play it, always do that. Like you don't need to like always do what's easier, because it makes you sound better when you're doing things that it sounds like it's only easy. So I do this. So I literally do the rule of plucking once per string. So it ends up sounding more like a guitar player when they're like in the rock and roll, they do like sweeps. Like something like that, but it's like a much smaller section of it. So, and then I would do that like really fast. And then I also do the minor shape where I just move that 3, 1, 3, 1, flat 3, because it's the minor shape and you need the flat 3. But I change up my hands a little bit. Actually no, I think No, I still use the same fingers. So index, pinky, then middle finger. Oh, I think my sound is cooked. Okay. There's that darn battery that died. That battery died. Can you guys hear me now? I would need to hook up my speaker. Can you guys hear me? Or okay, cool. At least you guys can hear me. But now to get my bass stuff going, I don't know if that'll work. So how about now? No, this thing is dead. Okay, let me see if I can get my speaker up. All right, we'll just go live audio. All right, so hopefully you guys can still hear me a bit. If I turn it up a lot. Can you guys hear that fine? Like with the, can you still hear the music though in the background? If you can still hear the music in the background, that's kind of like the main thing I was worried about. Oh, so for the arpeggio that I was playing a 1. Oh. Oh, I can do that. Check, check. Yes, I got more volume now. So I'm doing 1, 3, 5, 1. So you might, the notes are B flat, D, F, and then B flat. And then the only thing that changes is for the minor shape. Instead of that D natural, we go back to the C sharp. Yeah, 1, 3, 5, 1, perfect. So if I do that in context, like this is the most disrespectful, guitar players are gonna hate you for it, but, ooh, that's loud. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna show you guys that in context. So okay, so that's how we do it in like real time. But of course, none of my ideas do I ever do them like by themselves. I always mix them in and mash them up with other ideas, like all the time. So I always make sure to mix things in so it never gets old. And I always do like small pieces of part A, and then I do another piece of part B, and then another piece of something else. And that's how I usually approach things. So that way I never have to give up my full ideas on the front end. And usually if one idea in a small piece catches in some way, that is usually enough to fuel me to the next thing. And then I realize that, oh, I never even finished using what I was thinking. So after I'm done feeding off of other musicians or the music, stealing a melody from the singer, doing whatever small idea I was thinking about, when I'm done with that whole cycle, like I then go back to, oh, I never even finished the real idea that I wanted to do. And then it's like you get that whole kind of feeling, or you get that kind of feel where it's like you're always you never run out of ideas, and it sounds like you're doing something like it sounds like you're smarter than you really are, but it's not. It's kind of like when I approach like playing songs, I usually start playing it very simple, like even more simple than the normal song does it. Like if a song starts like this, I won't even start doing that just to start the song. I'll do that maybe to respect the kind of bass line. I'll do that in one spot. I'll be like, and that will be my ground zero. And then when I'm ready to build and I want to add more, all I have to do is do what the actual song really did, and it sounds like you're trying, but yet you didn't start from. I called it zero, but it's kind of like starting from -5, so that way your zero sounds like, oh my gosh. So okay, what questions we got? Tell me, do you plug in dry without any compression? Yes, 100%. I am the worst person when it comes to gear, like that. I guarantee it. Like sound guys come up to me because of some techniques that I use, like for example with octaves. People swear that I'm using a pedal, but it's just my hands. It came from an idea that I learned from Mono Neon, and Mono always he would do it like exaggerated, and I didn't want to be that extra, so I just kind of like simplified it in a way, but I used the concept and I turned it into my own. I do that to make things sound like really cool whenever I'm trying to do it. Like, so if I do this with a song, this goes back to like getting things to the point where you're so comfortable that you play it along with the scale, so that way you can learn it. But then the goal is to always skip around. Just like, let me show an example. So if I'm doing chords, instead of doing, right? Instead of walking up, I can skip around. And then of course that works with any kind of concept that you will do. So if I do like that octave thing, if I skip around, it's gonna be like, bro, what the heck is going on? So, and an important thing I want you guys to help to hear and notice is that notice how even though I'm playing like crazy ideas, it doesn't sound like I'm giving everything. That's because no matter what you're playing, it should kind of give that effect that you're holding back just a little bit. so that way you always have something left in the tank. Like I try not to hit my full capacity, so that way, because usually when you're it's like your computer. When you're operating at 100%, that's when glitches start to happen. So I usually try not to put myself in a situation where I'm using everything. I try to make sure I can still see it. And the quickest way to incorporate that into your playing is by just making sure you don't, just make sure you try to, how can I put it? You can hold back by just every idea that comes to mind. It's like, I call it putting it in my back pocket. Like I'll save that idea for the next time. I'll do something else that's like a lot simpler, something I don't even have to think about. And then I'll save that idea for like a better moment. So that way I'm not like giving out every idea that comes to mind. It's like, oh, I get an idea that comes to mind, I put it in my savings account, and then I go back for it when I need it, kind of thing. Okay. I wish I can flow like that. You can. It just starts with a small steps. So usually if you just force yourself to play like restricted, you'll realize that you'll find your way outside of the box in like no time. So for example, like in Your Great Name, this song, if we do the vamp and I force you to just play the same thing over and over, then I tell you to like, okay, now you're gonna skip around in that same box, like, and if you slow yourself down, that changes everything. Right? Let's just simple pentatonic. And I'm just doing it slower. Right? You hit the bass line, then you do that every once in a while. So now, once you lock it in, you now don't need to play the same rhythm, and it's the rhythms that actually make things sound crazy, because I always consider bass as the instrument where we're drummers with notes. So once you, now the next time I don't have to approach it the same way. So watch me use those same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just those 5 notes, and watch how this is gonna start sounding crazy, even though it's just the same thing. Here we go. Like you hear how I'm restricting myself into that small box, and then it's like, yo, this is already sounding crazy, but you know what I'm doing, but it still sounds crazy. It's just a rhythm. That's why I always try to start off my ideas as slow as I can, and then I speed it up over time in just a small part of it. And then I'll add something else to it. Like I can walk down the scale once I free up myself outside of that box, because the idea is that you want to kind of get bored in the zone and get very bored. Like you want to feel like it's too easy. So that way, when you start branching out, that's when you're like, oh snap, like I can do the same concept in a different place. So now both of these two things are like playing with your ears, and then now you're like, yo, this is crazy. So what else we got? For your style, do you think that a compressor pedal will not serve the job? It's not that I don't think it'll serve the job. I've always been very like low maintenance when it comes to equipment. So I just like to like grab my equipment and go. And I do still work professionally as a bass player. So I'm like always moving equipment. So to me, it would feel like extra work to bring a compressor and things like that. And I also do like being someone who doesn't use that equipment, so that way people who are like, let's say like looking up to me or anything like that, I want to make sure that they know that they can achieve those sounds with the same gear. It's the same reason why I do love the bass, but I love how cheap it is, because people are like, they think that you need to spend $5,000 to have a quality bass. And I'm like, it's better to invest more in like your sound, because if I play on one of my cheaper basses that's behind me, I can still get the same tone where you're like, yo, that sounds like it's Jermaine playing. I'd rather you get those kind of principles versus anything else. And also, let me scroll up in case I missed anything. Yeah. So, okay, one other thing on a simple side. Oh, you have a few questions about your tone that is incorporated into your style. Can you play like that on a passive bass, or is it harder? Oh, no, it's the same. So this bass, I actually have a passive switch. So I'll do a pass with the song, and I'll do it in passive mode. I don't have all the help from the EQs like I did before. So let's see what it sounds like, and you'll notice it's probably the same. I'm usually forced to play in passive mode whenever my battery dies. So until I get a chance to change it. So one thing I will say is playing your bass on passive mode, in my opinion, does make things a little bit more difficult to play because you feel the tension in the strings. Because it's more like you don't have the help of your preamp and the electricity running through your bass or whatever, however it works. You don't have that extra help. So I do notice immediately that my strings feel heavier when I play in passive mode. But as far as the sound, once you know the concept with your hands, like certain rules, pluck once per string. Make sure even when you're playing things like going backwards, make sure you try to keep your index finger down. Usually it's lifting up your fingers that makes things sound in a way where it's like you break that like momentum and speed or timing or whatever. And that starts to make your sound less mature. So try to keep your hands down. Use more hammer-ons, use pull-offs to get used to it. Usually every bass player that I get to teach, they never struggle with the hammer-ons, it's the pull-offs. So don't waste your time and deal with things forward. Always play things, usually try to practice things going backwards. If you can get those backwards runs and ideas to sound fluid, yeah. And oh, if I'm not mistaken, Richard, you're the one who asked me about, what was the song? It was the Marcus Miller stuff. Oh wait, let me answer this comment you just did. Do you favor the neck pickup on behalf of the instead of the bridge, or do you turn both 50-50? So I prefer the bridge pickup. Like I always point my pickups towards the rare one, but like just over the hill. Like if 50-50 is the middle, I like the sound of it at 49. It just makes a difference to me because of how I play, and it allows my notes to cut through more. But lately, depending on my live setting when I'm doing gigs, I do prefer it sometimes to be right over. So instead of at 50%, I prefer it on 51. But I wanted to tell you something about the Marcus Miller videos that you sent. So there's one thing I want you to notice. Everything that you asked about in this video, Mas que nada, it was all pentatonic. And if you get used to the shape, I actually want to, I'm gonna tag you in a video. Yeah, perfect. So I gotta send you the Forever Lick video. The Forever Lick video will deal with this because it shows you how to play the pentatonic in a way that's faster, and you actually get to fill it up by adding in the major scale notes. The other notes that are not in the pentatonic, because the pentatonic scale is just the 1, 2, 3, 5, and the 6 of the major scale. So it shows you how to incorporate the 4 and the 7. So the whole point is that once you get used to playing more notes at a time, you start to hear patterns a lot quicker because you're so used to doing a little bit more. So I want to, if someone doesn't beat me to it in adding it, but I want you to see that one because that will be very beneficial. So yeah, I'm gonna play to this song a little more, and then I think that should be it for today. I might mess with some more. I'll probably mess with some more arpeggios as well. Ooh, a lot more power. Remember that thing I was telling you guys about? You don't have to do everything fast. You can just slow it down. And then that's how you end up using those same ideas in your bass lines. Because I'm doing that extended version groove of this song, Your Great Name, once we get to that 4 chord, I just do the arpeggio for that. 4 is major, 4 major 7. Or you can just do the octave if that doesn't feel natural yet. Yeah, so I see not immediately going Super Saiyan when I open up is actually great advice. My hands can sometimes move into a shape I haven't seen yet on my fretboard when I'm moving too fast. Yeah, the goal is not to, because I will be the first one to always tell you this. Maybe more of the older school cats will tell you like, oh yeah, man, you know, bass, you got to play pocket. The truth is, pocket will keep you trash. Truth, like you have to like surpass the capacity. Like the only way to increase your capacity is you have to do more than what's required. It's just like in school. A C is what's considered average. You don't want to be average, you can't do average things. You have to make a habit of doing more than normal. But I brought that up because the goal is to actually be able to play fast. But how are you going to do that? You got to give yourself, like you got to warm up, just like you don't just work out and just start going your heaviest ever. No, you'll injure yourself. So in the same way, just make sure you start the same idea slow, just like with the arpeggios. I can show you how I would normally do that. So the next time, since I already kind of see where it is, the next time I'll go for it. Or do a small piece faster. And then as you're pacing yourself for a whole different reason. Like you just don't want to get lost too soon. But what ends up happening is what? It sounds like you're phrasing everything that you're playing. You know what I'm saying? Like now your phrasing sounds amazing, but you're just, hey, I'm just not trying to go too fast in every single spot so that way I don't make a mistake. So that's a good thing to incorporate. So what else we got here? Is there any exercise that will help us to get those articulations get integrated? Please give us helpful exercise for that. Okay, so the exercises, in my opinion, is first you have to start with just how we articulate normal notes in the scale. Because if you learn that, you'll realize that everything starts to sound pretty once you just know how to do things in the major scale approach. So I've been teaching literally all week articulation to my students, my private lesson students. So we're in B flat, right? So what I always start with is Mary Had a Little Lamb. So once you know that, pinky, I always recommend your pinky, but if you're strong with your ring finger, you can use that. That's also fine. So, but pinky, index, index. But now what makes it pretty, that articulation, is before I even play the 3, I do this little twang. I call it the country twang. Even though I'm playing 3 in my head, I still do that hammer on. So it just sounds better. Then I let it go for the 2. That's a pull off. And then I hit with my middle finger. It sounds like a bunch of mess, but once you put it all together, once you get used to that feeling, now everything you play you start to get used to that sound, and you try to incorporate it in the little things that you do. And then you do that with the pentatonic scale fully, like, and that's also how you wake up the like mature side of your playing, because a lot of things that the best of the best are doing that kind of catches our attention isn't even the complicated stuff. It's the simple things, but it's like, yo, they just played Mary Had a Little Lamb and it sounds like insane. So it's just articulation. That's one way to do it. And then you also have, arpeggios exercise. I'll do that right after. So one more thing with the trills, you make sure that that's the first way, where you add your middle finger, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. There's another way to do that where you shift your position. That's where you get that cool, like Matt Ramsey kind of like, where you shake the notes. It looks like you're shaking it, but it's just one simple jump. You'll do pinky, pinky, index, pinky, pinky, index, where you slide over, but then you add in that trill. And for this stuff, I don't pluck. I only pluck for the first time. Like all of it is just from my initial pluck. Yeah. So, okay. Do you think you can come up with an arpeggio exercise of how you connect them to octaves? So this is how I approach exercises with things like this. I don't really think of it as like an exercise. I just usually practice what I would actually do, and I just loop it. So, which in essence would turn to exercise, but it's a useful exercise, because when I think of exercise, I think of like the spider technique. And it's like exercises in that respect doesn't really have like application to your playing. So initially when I'm thinking of the 2 octaves for the arpeggio thing, I'm always going to focus on the major because that's the easiest ones for me to play. So I would always do my strengths. So what do they do in the song? Okay, so I'll do it on the 4 right here, and I'll see how I'm playing it. Okay, I think I see it now. So for first, this is just going to be the major 7th one. So I usually start with the note before the major, before the first note. So the crossover is really what makes it powerful. After I play the 5 with my pinky, it's my index finger that goes further. And this is that major 7. And even though I pluck the first string, the first note, I hammer on like all those notes. Hammer on, hammer on, hammer on, hammer on. Or I would probably end with my pinky, because I know I'm about to go back the other way. And now if I wasn't doing major 7 and I was just doing a normal major one, I'd probably just do. So same concept without the extraness. 4, 6, 1. And I just copy that up an octave. The only weird thing is that usually on my way back down, if I'm going backwards, but I usually won't do it this simple because this is a little more difficult without the extra notes, which is so weird. I would normally kind of like do this bar chord thing where I just, whenever I have a note that lines up, I try to play it with the same finger that I was playing the other note that was its next door neighbor. See, like I'm playing that 4 or to the shape, the 1, but it's the 4 in the key of B flat. I would hit the note on top, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 1. Because it's the same thing I do the other way, so I kind of keep it simple and do the same thing when I'm going the other direction as well. So do you think you could come up with, okay, I read that one. So, okay, if you play with a loud band, mostly the case, does this single pluck turn out to be a struggle? So you can't get through, you need more time. Well, okay, so I'm happy you said this. So this is why, well, number one, I always make sure I'm playing with enough volume, number one. But then that's also why how you organize your pickups or how you EQ your bass is definitely how your bass will cut through. If I'm focused on my front pickups, like, you know, my neck pickups, those notes are not going to cut when I'm doing all this. It's not going to cut. It's usually, so that's why I like to point towards the back, because whenever I do high-end ideas and I'm doing all this hammer-on stuff, it does cut through. And yeah, but usually if you have enough mids, not too much, because even my mids usually stays a little less than halfway, but my low-end frequency that kind of like allows notes to ring out a lot, I usually keep that up pretty generously. It's not at like 50%, it's more so at like 60, 65 most of the time, maybe even 75% most of the time. So that's how I usually deal with things like that, so they cut through. So and then, oh, let me show you the minor. So like we're in B flat still, so 6. Oh my gosh, should I even open this can of worms? So if I do this with the song, right? So you know the whole reality where it's like the major scale and the minor scale is the exact same thing. It's just starting from two different places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. The minor scale is the same scale, but you just start on the 6. And you end on the 6, and then you get the minor scale. The same concept happens here, even when I'm doing these arpeggio things. The minor arpeggios have the same notes if you just start on a different place. So it is still the same notes for that 4 arpeggio. But if I play that 6 first, when I play that major 7th arpeggio, it's like they share the same shape. So I normally like to see it like that. Whenever I can simplify it in a more simple way, I always choose that route. But okay, so because I want this to be actually processed and be able to like send it to the other guys who couldn't make it today, I don't want to keep it too long. So I'll probably take one more question and then I'll close out the live. So I'll play until you guys ask it for like 2 minutes or less. Substitutions. What a great last question. This is about to be bananas. So for substitutions, I keep the concept by simplifying, right? So I already know the substitutions that usually work because I've been playing for so long. But how I get to a place where I can consciously just like cook in any spot is by first I am like diabolical in just one spot. So you see how, this vamp is like 4 and then 6. I'll only do substitutions on the 4 when I'm shedding so I can hear all the ones that work. And usually please tag the helpful exercises you mentioned. Okay. I don't know what you mean by tag. I don't know how to tag the time frame, like create timestamps for live stream video. But how I do the effects of substitutions is actually by seeing the arpeggios, honestly. Whatever the arpeggio is for the chord. So if we have a 1, right? We went over those arpeggios, 1, 3, 5, 1, right? That's the basic one. Those are all your basic arpeggios are all substitution options. So wherever you're playing a 1, a 3 works, and wherever you're playing a 1, a 5 works. But then also there's another rule where for the 1, because of the same thing about the major and minor scale and their relationship, a 6 is always a valid substitution for the 1. So I learn all of those patterns for each respective note. And you'll see the shape. Oh, the 2 is minor because we know the 2 likes to be minor. So whenever I'm playing a 2, I can substitute for a 4. Or when I'm playing a 2, I can substitute for a 6. Now, not all of them will work perfectly every time, but that's why we keep our ears open when we're playing stuff. So now let me put that in real time because this is how the fun happens. So we're playing the 4. They hold that for a while. And then we got the 6. All right, so now instead of the 4, we'll do a 2. And you can go back to the extra note. And then the 6. So let me do the 6th one. So 6 is a minor chord. I can substitute for a 1 or a 3. Let me try both of those back to back. Or even a 1. Have this thing where it's not as complicated as substitutions. It's kind of like you just have to take the risk. Like you'll notice how when I do chromatic ideas, like I was doing in the beginning of this live, whenever you know where you're going, you can take any route as long as you get there, you know? So if I know that I'm playing 4 and 6 the whole time, I literally can just start bending time and space just to get there. So this is what it would sound like. I'm saying? Because remember, the biggest rule, in case you forget everything on substitutions, remember that no matter what you're playing, you're usually in a key, unless you're playing like crazy fusion jazz or whatever, you're always playing in a key for some amount of time. So that means all the other notes in that key have a relationship with what you're playing. So you can stop by those notes, maybe not for as long a period of time, but usually you can hear where it's like, oh, that's weird. So it doesn't mean you can't play it. You just can't stay there and hold it for 10 hours or else it's going to sound wrong. But if you're just passing through the neighborhood, if I held that because this is a 6, if I held that flat 6, it would be weird. Like, but if I just pass through the neighborhood, no, that's completely incorrect. So if I do it, you know what I'm saying? Of course, now I wouldn't do it just like simply with that rhythm. You know, you can change up the rhythm, like, you know, da, 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 like, you know what I'm saying? And then it becomes tasteful and purposeful. Or I like to say it just keeps me from getting lost, because when I slow myself down, it sounds like I'm phrasing, but I'm really just trying to make sure I can still see everything that I'm playing and stay conscious of it. So I'll do this one a couple more times. Okay, I'll definitely save this live on my channel. I was only gonna put it in my group, so okay. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any comments. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. So let me play to it one more time. You can also do the 6 for the 4, because we're going based off of those arpeggios. So you that in essence, because the next chord is a 6, and I'm already substituting the 4 for the 6, that means I can hold the 6 the whole time, and it goes crazy. Now you're doing all your runs in the key in B flat. So now you're playing with everyone's ear. You're like, bro, he's in a minor sound. This is crazy. So then now you start doing major ideas, and it sounds like you're bending time and space. Major scale. You know what I'm saying? Like, now all the dots connect and it's less stressful. So once again, you can only really start to manipulate these changes crazily once you slow yourself down. Like, just don't be afraid to, like, resist the urge. Even with your licks, start your fills and ideas like with a slow approach, and then you can always speed it up later. Like, always try to like tease every idea that you start with, and then you can do the full picture, and you'll get that effect of where before you even get to your full idea, someone in the band will usually like respond to something you did. They'll be like, whoa, and they might play what you played. So then you don't even need the part 2 that you had waiting in your back pocket. You ended up, the whole vibe ended up changing just from what you did, which was just an introduction. So then when the energy dies down and you're like, oh, what should I do next? You're like, I had something in my back pocket this whole time. I can do the other part. And then it's like, oh my gosh, all over again. And then you wait till you're inspired, or you just try out patterns within the major scale key, you know, and then you're able to start cooking. And then you also have substitutions that you can cycle through. You have different arpeggios you can now cycle through. Let me see, what else can we come up with? You hear how I'm like phrasing and I'm not playing too fast? That's just to make sure I don't get too carried away. Once you learn these shapes and patterns, you don't have to play every single note possible. You can play just some of them. But either way, I don't want to talk your guys' ear off too much, so we'll end it here. Thank you guys for showing up. I will have the live stream up and available. I'll leave it on my YouTube page for a little while, but I probably will only leave it up forever in my bass Telegram group. So any of you guys who aren't in there, you should definitely sign up for the bass community. It is super great and helpful. I answer questions like this on a regular basis. I will say, I do kind of love having the interaction. I don't get to edit like the pretty videos that I normally would, but I love the idea of just the interaction. So I'm probably gonna do a lot more live streams, and I'm gonna learn how to keep making it better. And I'll make sure my interface doesn't die, the battery doesn't die, so that way I can have quality audio for you guys the whole time. But either way, super great to see you guys, and keep your questions coming. And I love to answer them. I love what I do. I love teaching, because I feel like people aren't really explaining things in a way that's like realistic for people coming up and trying to grow, people who are even at even some advanced level people who actually learn from me. And they're like, yo, you simplified it. And before, my brain used to like short circuit when I was thinking about stuff. But now, because I'm like, yo, I could just see it from the major scale starting at the 6. That's like way easier than, E equals MC squared. So either way, this is a pleasure. See you guys later. I'm out.